You're tuned in to Inside Lowell. Inside Lowell podcast brought to you in part by Washington Savings Bank, serving the greater Lowell community for over 130 years. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. Unicare, offering a variety of plans for people insured under the GIC. At Unicare, your health is their top priority. Reverie 73, Lowell's #1 cannabis shop. Elevate your cannabis experience at Reverie 73. Hafner's, heating and cooling homes and businesses for nearly a century. Become a part of the Hafner's family. It kicks. Boston North Company, offering a wide variety of business solutions to help restaurant and retail clients save money. Boston North. And by Mahoney Oil Company, providing warmth and protection to families in Greater Lowell and Southern New Hampshire since 1925. That's Mahoney Oil. And now, time for another Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place.
Good morning. I'm Jim Campanini, co-host of the Grapefully Yours Wine Show podcast.
Good morning.
Right? And here's my co-host, who you've seen before, the wine butler, Michael Pigeon. How you doing today, Mike?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
This show is coming to you from the great expansive offices of the InsideLowell.com in downtown Lowell. We have our producer and show owner, Teddy Panos. Teddy, how are you today?
Doing well, guys. Welcome.
Beautiful. And Teddy, you were saying we got new sponsors?
We do.
You want to tell just briefly?
Unicare, state's #1 insurer if you're insured under the GIC plan, and Mahoney Oil Company, warming and heating homes since 1925, guys. Yeah. Thanks for letting me give them a plug.
Yeah, so we're building, and you should get on board and advertise with InsideLowell.com. It's the only place you can get your news, entertainment, recreation,
We'll have
and
to,
wine.
We'll have to toast the new advertisers.
Yes. So let's get some business out of the way. I had to pay Mike Pigeon $10 this morning because the Patriots have been so abysmal. Okay, he's beat me 4 weeks in a row. Patriots are now 1-4, and next week they're playing
L.A. They played last night on a Monday night. The Raiders.
The Raiders. They're playing Las Vegas Raiders. They're playing out in Las Vegas. Okay, so I'm going to stick with the Patriots next week. I'm sticking with Belichick until he wins his 300th game. That could be another 10 years, but so I'll stick with them. Okay, you take the Raiders.
Well, they're coming off a Monday night game, which is
they
tough.
won last
year.
night. The Raiders won last night.
Yeah, but it was an
Green Bay.
emotional high for them. They're not going to be up emotionally when they play the
You don't
Patriots.
think so? I don't think you have to be up to beat
I don't
the
think you
Patriots.
have to be up either.
Yeah.
But you know, it can. We'll see. I definitely wouldn't pick the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, just the random analytics say that the Patriots have to win a game at some point. But
At some point,
anyway,
yeah.
we'll see. We'll go with that. But do you like my new hat?
Beautiful. Looks good on you. You wear
So this is my Range Goats hat from the LIV Golf Tour. Okay. And so I bought it online. Beautiful. Because I bought it originally because of the GOAT, Tom Brady, you know. But I like the design. Very simple. Nice. So I'm going to wear this for my fall golf hat.
Very
okay?
nice. Yep.
Thank you. So, Mike, today we're going to talk. First of all, I got a little surprise for you. I mean, we've been talking in October. October is Italian Wine Month. We talked about it a little on the show last week. We talked the Chianti Classico, and thank you, Teddy. My new column on Chianti Classico, including the video of our show. Inside Lowell show on our Chianti Classico is now up online, InsideLowell.com. You could look at the column. You could also go to the WineNovice.com. The column is also there. So Teddy asked a good question. Gee, we're talking about a lot of Italian wines. Yes, October is Italian wine month, and the new releases are now arriving into America. So you can see them as you go to the, your fine wine shops and outlets and online. And now is the time to really look at them and buy them because they're discounted, okay? And so it's good to be on the hunt for some of these wines. So we talked a little about Brunello di Montalcino 2 weeks ago because we talked about Sangiovese, which is the base for both the Brunellos and the Chianti Classicos. And so my wife, when I told her about the show, she went up to Costco, and this is the Kirkland brand. So Costco makes some great wines under the Kirkland brand. And I wanted Mike to taste this because most Brunello di Montalcinos, the average cost is about $45 to $55. You know, I've got an extensive collection of Brunellos. I've been collecting them as far back as 2009. And there were two classic years, the 2010, 2018, 15. When I say classic, that means the vintage was rated outstanding. You couldn't buy a bad bottle of Brunello and stuff, okay? Another year that is shaping up is the 2019, which, because Brunello is the oldest, is the longest aged wine in Italy under law, it has to be aged for at least 4 years before it can be sold to the public. This is the 2018. The 2019s are just coming out right now, okay? So this is the 18. So James Suckling gave this 91 points. What do you think? Now this has been open for 2 days because I've been drinking it. You can see
They make a lot of wine when you stop and think. Age for 4 years. That means they have a backup of 4 years. How many barrels is that on it?
I know.
Wow.
And it's a small zone when you think about it in the context of Italy. So, you know, it's not like they can put out 100 million bottles of Chianti Classico. I think the most Brunellos they sell is like 14 million bottles a year, you know, which is in the same range as Barolo. I think Barolo is 11 million bottles a year, or vice versa, something like that. But what do you think?
Nice. Good.
Yeah. So if you ever wanted to get into Brunello di Montalcino, see what it tastes like, see if you like it. The thing about Brunello's, the Sangiovese Grace, it's a sour cherry and plum, very bright acidity, but it's those secondary flavors of vanilla, mocha, licorice, you know, that really rise to the top. And especially, I like my Brunellos a day later after I open them because they get a little oxidized, and that oxidation just brings out the better flavor, softens it just a little. And this one, for 91, this costs $19 at Costco. It's a steal.
It is.
You know,
Yeah, it is.
Like I said, if you want to get into, or at least try, what's Jim talking about? Brunello di Montalcino. It's 100% Sangiovese from the best vineyards in Brunello, the region, and Costco through Kirkland has their own winery, okay, in the region, and they have contracts with the producers in the area. So it's not like these are, grapes that are being thrown away or something. No, they have contracts they have to recognize, and they make a great wine. You know,
Now, Montalcino, that's not to be confused with Montepulciano.
that's right.
They're two different little...
Vino Nobile di Montepulciano is a Sangiovese based wine,
Right.
but it's a different region, different
Pretty
terroir.
close to it, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Just a
yes.
different region.
And then we have the Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, right? So, which is also Abruzzi, you know. So we've
They're
got that.
close together. Is that something like Champagne? We buy Champagne and Cremant. Is that, the two neighboring
No, it's just a
areas?
different
Great.
Yes.
I mean, neighboring areas.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Cremant is a sparkling wine like champagne, done in the same style.
but
But
it's
you
not-
can only call
Champagne.
champagne from Champagne.
So that's
And
what
yet
I'm
throughout France, in different regions, they make Cremant from different grapes.
They have so
yes.
many small areas in different countries
Yes.
where they can label it.
Well, you're getting very good at this. You're
Well,
getting smart.
Montalcino and
So,
Montepulciano.
I just wanted to have Mike
It's a
taste
nice
this.
wine.
Did you-
It's
yeah.
a good one. 91.
$19.99. It's a really good buy. These don't last long at Costco, so you better Better get them within the next 2 weeks because then they'll be all gone. And then they bring in their Barolo too.
That's an honest assessment of 91. Some people pad them a little bit, but that's 91.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this should age too. Should age well because also. So that's our buy of the week. Okay. We're gonna put this to the side.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna talk about the Super Tuscan.
Open that one.
What? Oh yeah. Okay. Well. and why I brought these two bottles in. So once again, these are Super Tuscans. Super Tuscans are wines that are made. They originally started. They were made out of the requirements of the Italian authorities who regulated wine. So at the time, you could not use international grapes. This was in the 60s and 70s. You could not use international grapes with Italian wines and call it, a DOC or a DOCG wine. Okay, so there was some very, very good pioneer vintners who said, "Hey, heck with you. We're going to make wine because we like wine." And they started introducing Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, the Bordeaux varieties, Petit Verdot, Cabernet Franc, into their mixes. And they started the whole new category of their own wine. Well, it took off because the wines were so good.
Yep.
And especially in some of those zones where Italy has beautiful climates for growing Cabernet, for growing Merlot. So especially the Maremma coast in a small little hamlet called Bulgari.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Okay. And it that's where Sassicaia came from. Ornellaia. Okay. So the Super Tuscan was born. Okay. And why I picked out these two grapes, once again, this is Ornellaia, one of the most outstanding Italian wines in the world. It's very limited. I think they only produce 6,000 cases. Only 2,000 cases might come into the U.S. every year. It's a very limited run. Ornellaia, this bottle is the 2020. It goes for as much as $350 a bottle. Okay. High rated. This was rated between 96 and 98 points. Now, I say this is because behind every one of these Ornellaias, like Tignanello and Sassicaia, there's always a second bottle from that estate. Made from the same grapes, same formula, okay? They might not be the best vineyard spots because only the best select grapes go into Ornellaia.
Like a bench player in baseball. We're not in the starting lineup, but he can come in and take the place and for
That's
lesser
right.
price.
And he could hit a home run
And he
once
can,
in a while. Okay?
yeah, sure. Oh, yeah.
So
Not that far behind sometimes.
Ornellaia is a mixture of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Petit Verdot, and
Cabernet Franc.
Cabernet Franc. So it's they found in this Bulgari, which overlooks the Tyrrhenian Sea. Beautiful. I've seen pictures of it. There's clay and limestone soils, a mineral. The mesoclimate's always sunny exposures, beautiful weather, and these varieties thrive there. Okay, so the second label, they call it the second vin in the Ornellaia estate, is La Serre Nuove. Okay, so this sells for $54 a bottle. This is also the 2020, I mean. So the Ornellaia has to age for at least 2 years in oak before it can be released. So the 2021 will be coming out later this year. Okay? Sometimes they age it in bottle for an extra year. Might not even hit till early 2020, mid 2024 or something. Well, the La Serre Nuove, okay, is already on the way in U.S. markets. The 2021 ready to drink. Okay, I mean they're age worthy. Okay,
Yeah.
That's why I say you look for the older one, but it's coming into U.S. markets now. okay, in limited quantities. And for $54, you can get 6 of these for one of these. So if you want to taste the Super Tuscan grape, I say to my friends, if you're a collector or a wine aficionado, you want to taste what an Ornellaia is, okay? Taste the second vin, see if you like it. But if you like it, you don't have to spend $350 to enjoy classic, outstanding wines. This is it. So, Mike, we're gonna open this bottle, and this is the 2020 that was rated 93 points. Okay, and we'll see what you think about it.
When you were getting the opener, I was going to switch bottles on you there and make an open that. Isn't that something though? Same grapes, and one is ready to drink the day they bottle it, and the other they say it's got to rest for 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't.
And if because we met Marilisa Antonori, right? She's got an estate out there, and Bulgari, and she was telling us about
Allegrini,
yeah,
not Antonori.
That's right, Allegrini. I'm sorry, and she was telling us about her, about her vineyard out there and everything, and the great impact the soil has. Look at the color on that, how fresh it is.
Very, very, very deep.
Yeah, purple and everything. And when you hear these stories, and then you see it's just so beautiful. Then when you taste the wines and you close your eyes and you think of the Maremma coast, the Tyrrhenian Sea, the sun-splashed beaches, and then those vineyards and these grapes maturing beautifully.
That's as dark plum as you can get.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful color. Okay, we're just gonna circle this. Yeah, what happened to? All right, thank you very much, Mike. That's why you're the butler, wine
I'm the
butler.
butler. I have to be ready for the faltering steps here.
Tell me what you smell.
Very deep, very deep. Wow. Very
Black
heavy.
currant, yeah, black currant,
very
jammy. It just, without even tasting it, it smells jammy, like it's thick, it's inky, it's.
Isn't there something how so many different wines are around? They all give a different nose and a different taste. They all just.
Oh wow!
It's a full-bodied wine.
Full-bodied wine. This is still going to open up. It's still a little tight for 220, but
it's kind of dreamy.
Yes,
Kind of nice. Yeah.
very good. And it's got all those. So this got all those characteristics of a wine that's just going to get better with age.
Yeah.
Because right now it's still tight, the 2020, but it's got it's very, very polished. It's soft. It's not harsh. Those tannins not, and that's what the
Merlot does that too.
Yeah, the Merlot, all these varietals, these Bordeaux varietals come together, and it's just a fabulous tasting wine, and you sample this and enjoy it and savor it. It's
Savory.
yeah,
it is.
And in this type of wine, you could have with anything. Basically, you want game, venison, steaks, but this go with your thick ragu, even a stew, a nice stew.
Spend the money on the wine and just have an inexpensive meatloaf be delicious. Stay with the money.
But
that's more of an experience. I love the Brunello. That was good. But this is like really more of an experience. You feel like it's plush, it's lush. You just,
And that's what a superior Super Tuscan wine is. Very unique, very polished, plush, great, fresh looking color. Oh man, that's look at the ruby highlights in that purple. I mean, and so if you're thinking about elevating your wine game, okay, you don't have to spend $250 to $350 a bottle. I mean, I buy my wines through David Mayone at the Vino Italiano, and in Waltham, and if you become a regular, I mean, you get a big discount off these wines. Like I paid, I think I paid $260 for my Ornellaia.
It's a good buy for what it goes for.
But you know, you can't, because he sells it in volume and stuff. But you go online right now and look, they're over $300 a bottle, because once they come into the country, they sell out and they're tough to get. But for my take, I mean, if I want a good wine, friends are coming over, and you know what? I buy 6 bottles of this a year, okay? Because I want to drink it more often and stuff. This is a special occasion wine, all right? There haven't been too many lately in my life, special occasions. We need more, all right? But but this wine, I mean, you get 6 bottles of this for 1 bottle of this, and the enjoyment, the experience is...
That's really nice. Maybe after the show we could send out for some food and just finish that bottle here.
Well, I am going to finish this because it is exceptional. But going further, when you look at these, you know, whether you get Wine Spectator or look at, you know, online, some of these lists and stuff, you know, you should always look at that top wine that they're promoting, all right? There's always a second in that house. Like I said, for Tignanello, there's Guidalberto. Tignanello sells for, you know, over $150 a bottle. Guidalberto is in the $50 to $60 range.
Nice.
You know, and you look and then you try and compare, and you know, you don't have to limit yourself to trying these wines. And you know what? Maybe if good fortune strikes, you know, you get a shot at an Ornellaia. Yeah, buy it and try it.
I'm getting to try some nice wines on this show.
Yeah,
either one of those, both the Brunello and that one.
And that's how you elevate your game, your experience. You keep your wine journal. What was it like? Maybe you'd prefer this one over that one. But Sassicaia, the same thing. You know, so that's our tip for today. Any closing thoughts on this wine? We didn't open the Ornellaia, but you might get a taste of it sometime this winter.
I doubt it. Those are very good wines, both of them. And 58, it's a second tier, let's say, to the Ornellaia. But wow, that's still enough money to spend, $58 for a bottle.
But it's good for a special occasion wine, and it's got a story to tell. You can tell.
Yeah.
And you tell people the story. This is the second vin to the famous Ornellaia, and it's rated, you know, not as highly, but it's almost in that outstanding zone. Outstanding being 95 points. This is 93. You know, and it's a great wine for the price. Now you're going to pay more money for California Cabernets than you're going to pay for this, and even Bordeaux wines.
I know the price differential. You have tasted both. How do you compare? Is it worth the price, the Ornellaia, over that one? You know,
well, I think the Ornellaia is a little more complex and savory. A little more. They talk about secondary notes that emerge. Ornellaia, you go from sip to sip during the course of a night. Now you're into tertiary notes. It just keeps evolving. You know, it's a beautiful wine, but I can't see spending $350 for a bottle of wine, and yet I do it because I'm a collector. I'm a collector.
Big difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a value guy. I look for the seconds. I look for the thirds. You know, and if they're good, I'm going to stock up on them. My friends enjoy them. My family enjoys them. We have a great time with them. So I'd rather have 6 of these than 1 of those. That's the way I look at it. You know.
Oh, sure.
So, but it's to each his own. Okay, the last thing I want to say. This is the end of the season for a lot of summer wines, and why I say that is, you know, there's a rosé out there, Hampton Water. It was started about 4 or 5 years ago. Originally, John Bon Jovi's wine. Okay, it was all the craze. Now he started with Gerard Bertrand, one of my favorite French winemakers. It's made in Provence, France. But when it came out, it was originally done for the Hampton set, Hampton, New York, Long Island, the elite, okay, who congregate there, celebrities and stuff. The rosé wine was selling for $25, $30, $35 a bottle, okay? Well, now that craze has calmed down, all right? It's the end of the season. You couldn't even find the bottle in most wine stores because they just sold it in the Hamptons, all right? Well, there are bottles of it now on the shelves in some local wine stores for $16 a bottle. Now, the rosé is good. I got to because John Bon Jovi, yes, he's a celebrity, but he also likes good wine, and he's got one of the best winemakers in France making his rosé. So it's got a woman in a bathing suit diving into a pool, Hampton water. If you see the label, a nice label. It's not the most, it's a nice label, but you can stock up on rosés. Rosés are being made nowadays that they last the whole year, 2 years, even 3 years, okay? So if you want one, I drink rosé all year round. But this would be good for you to taste if you can get a bottle. See what you think. It's a very dry strawberry rosé. It's got that strawberry rosé, nice, but it's dry and it's got an exquisite taste. If you can see it, get it. And I'll give you a hint. It's at the Market Basket, the new store they just bought in the Stadium Plaza. Okay, last I saw it was about $16 a bottle. So
that store has saved me a few trips up to New Hampshire recently. I'm telling you.
So I think they had a couple of cases, but you should really, if you like rosé, buy a couple of bottles. I mean, it's hard to get, and I think you'll really like it. Okay, so that's going to be my last tip of the week. And
thank you for the wines. Those were good wines.
Yeah.
Boy, I was thinking if I ever spilled entertaining and I spilled some of that on the hardwood floors, I'd sponge it up and throw it away. But if that Ornellaia, I think I'd sponge it up and put it back in the bottle when no one was looking. I mean, that's an expensive wine, $350 a bottle. Yeah. But some wines, don't they go up to $1,000 a bottle?
More than that, sure.
Can you imagine?
Sure. The Bordeaux, so those are expensive wines. Even the Italian Cabernets now, Holland Cabernet and stuff like that. So anyway, we got a time limit here. Until we see you next week, next show, may the wine be with you.
And the Patriots are 1-5 after.